Last summer, we had one of the best MCU films to ever come out to start off the summer, and that was Captain America Civil War, my favorite film of last year. This summer, we have a sequel to one of my other favorite MCU films. It's in my top 5. Does this one live up to Civil War or to the first Guardians of the Galaxy? Let's find out. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is once again written and directed by James Gunn. It is the sequel to 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite MCU films. And this one basically picks up where the first one left off, with the 5 Guardians. You have Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, the Destroyer, Rocket Raccoon, and now Baby Groot instead of Groot. And basically they go on another adventure, and then later they stumble upon Kurt Russell's character Ego. And it turns out, this is not a spoiler by the way, because we've known about this for a while, Ego is Star-Lord's father. Alright, so let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Oh, and by the way, this review is going to be spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about any spoilers in here, so you can watch. As a lot of you guys probably know, this movie was one of my most anticipated movies of the entire year. I love the first Guardians of the Galaxy a lot. I saw the trailers for this one, and I was sold, especially after the second trailer. That second trailer was hysterical, and it looked like it was going to be another fun time at the movies, just like the first one was. And for the most part, this movie was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. First off, the best thing about this movie is the characters, for sure. This movie goes a lot more in depth to each of the characters than the first movie did, and I thought that worked out really well for it. I love Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. He brings so much to the character, so much energy, so much charisma. He is just a lot of fun to watch, and especially with him dancing around with his Walkman like he did in the first movie. I thought that was a lot of fun. And also, Gamora, I thought she was really cool. Zoe Saldana does a good job playing her. Dave Bautista, this guy is hilarious, especially in this movie. Oh man, he's even more funny than he was in the last movie, I thought. And he makes a lot of good jokes in this movie. Rocket Raccoon, he was one of my favorites from the first one, and once again, he's really funny in this one too. And Baby Groot, of course, the adorable little tree. And yes, he is really adorable, and he's a lot of fun to watch too. He has some really cool scenes in this movie. But I think the best character in this movie is Michael Rooker's character, Yondu. This guy is awesome, especially when he's on screen with Rocket Raccoon. He is just so much fun to watch. He's the most well-developed character in the movie, in my opinion. And overall, like he had some pretty good action sequences in there, and he even had some jokes of his own. So yeah, he is the best character for sure. Kurt Russell's character Ego, I thought was really cool. There's a twist involving him in the middle of the second act of the movie. I'm not going to say exactly what the twist is because that's a big spoiler, but I was intrigued by that twist for sure. I thought it added a lot to the movie. And overall, I just thought he was a good character. Also, Mantis was really good. She and Drax had a few good moments in this movie as well. And of course, the action sequences, they're awesome. At least when they happen, they're awesome. And this movie has my new favorite intro of the year. It involves Baby Groot. It is pure gold. And the song that goes along with the opening credits, I thought fit perfectly with it. It's basically this one-shot take. It's Baby Groot with a song. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I'm just gonna say it's pure gold. It's my new favorite intro of the year. Sorry, Lego Batman, you've been dethroned. But yeah, and then once the third act of this movie hits, that's where it just picks up and it just becomes a non-stop thrill ride from there. It is so much fun. Also, the ending to this movie, I thought it hit hard. It definitely hit really hard. Definitely a hard-hitting ending. I really liked the ending of this movie, and the post-credit scenes as well. 3 of the 5 of them I really liked. I'll get to the other 2 later, but 3 of the 5 of them I really liked. The first one, the second one, and the 4th one. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but I really like those 3 scenes in particular. And another really standout thing about this movie, the visual effects. I think they're even better than the first one because, oh my gosh, it makes me wonder how they did it with all the CGI and all the other set pieces in there. It's awesome. It looks absolutely spectacular. So yeah, and the soundtrack, for the most part, I thought the soundtrack was really good, especially the first song, and then there's another song in the middle that plays during the third act of the movie that I thought was really good. And of course, the movie, it has its jokes in there too. A lot of the jokes did hit. Not as many as the first one, I'll get to that a little bit later as well, but for the most part, the jokes did hit, and the movie was very, very funny. Kind of like the first one was. Like, you see a lot of the jokes in the trailer, and most of those are in the movie as well, and I thought it worked for the most part, so yeah. Of course, as much as I did like this movie, I do have to say it's got a lot of problems. It really does. First off, like, what's with the gold people? Like, why were they there? It felt so forced and unnecessary. Like, those freaking gold people just didn't need to be there. And there are some moments during the second act where that kind of took me out of the movie. It felt really disjointed at times, especially with its tone. Like, there are some serious moments in there, or moments that I felt like were supposed to be serious, and then all of a sudden this joke comes up. Drax makes one joke in the middle of the second act of this movie where I'm just like, really? You had to make that joke at this time? It felt so out of place. And the other thing about the jokes is, I'd say, whereas 95 to 100% of them hit in the first movie, I'd say it's more like 80-20 here. It's, for the most part, they did hit, but there are some that miss, and when they do miss, it stands out a lot. It really stands out. And like I said, the twist involving ego in the middle of the second act that I can't mention again because it's a huge spoiler. Like, it was predictable. I saw it coming from a mile away. It was really predictable. And again, the plot felt kind of all over the place. There are certain scenes that felt out of place. That's just how I thought of it. I mean, again, I liked the movie, but unfortunately, I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. For being my number 3 most anticipated movie of the entire year, I was kind of disappointed with it, honestly. But don't get me wrong, I still really like the movie, but I just think it's one of the weaker films in the MCU. And like, there's 15 MCU films out right now. It's probably ranked like number 10 or 11 overall. It's definitely on the lower side of it. It's not nearly as good as the first one. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. And yeah, the other 2 post-credit scenes I wasn't really too huge of a fan of. The third and fifth one, not too big a fan of those, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. While I really liked this film, I can honestly say it's not I don't think it's one of the best films of the year. It is a lot of fun, for sure. It's definitely a lot of fun, kind of like the first one was, but it wasn't nearly as good as the first one, and I think overall this one could have been so much better. But for the most part, I did really like it. I'm still going to give it a pretty high score. Honestly, like, if I were to watch this, or if I were to have to choose to watch this or Fate of the Furious again, I'd honestly probably choose Fate of the Furious. I think I honestly had more fun with that movie than I did with this one, and that's tough to say, but it's just how I feel. But yeah, once again, I am gonna give this movie a pretty high score. Still, it's a very fun movie, a good character piece for what it was. Has my favorite intro of the year, a really good ending. But yeah, best superhero movie of the year so far is still Logan, hands down. Logan blows this movie out of the water. But yeah, with all that being said, I am going to give Guardians of the Galaxy 2, let's go 79% certified fresh, B+, solid B+. I was at first torn whether to give this movie a B+ or an A-, because I was like right in that range. Like I was like right on the borderline, kind of like I was with Fate of the Furious, but I gave Fate of the Furious a solid 80. So, and I actually had more fun with Fate of the Furious than I did with this movie. So yeah, I went one step below it, gave it a 79. So there it is. There's my spoiler-free review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Have you guys seen the movie? What did you think about it? Make sure to let me know down in the comments below. And also, what is your favorite film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Mine, The Avengers 2012. That's always been my favorite. I think it will forever be my favorite. Captain America Civil War is a close second. But yeah, mine is The Avengers. So again, let me know down in the comments below what your favorite MCU film is. That is going to be it for this video. So make sure to subscribe to my channel for more reviews to come. And until my next review, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Peace.